Hello guys, welcome to my vlog. So, welcome to Dance TV. So, hello sa mga aspiring trainees, trainers at assessors po ng TISDA. So, ito po yung ang video na ito is para po sa inyong lahat para kahit paano matulungan ko po kayong kung paano gumawa ng instruction sheets para sa iyong CBLM. Okay? Now, alam natin yung instruction sheets, mayroong mga different types, no? Such as information sheets. We have here task sheets, job sheets, and operation sheets. Okay? So, i-discuss po natin yan isa-isa para kahit paano may makuha kayong guide kung paano gumawa ng instruction sheet para sa iyong TM1 portfolio. Okay? So, ito na para po sa inyong lahat. Alright, so ito na po yung ating instruction sheets. Alright, so ang learning objectives natin ngayon, my dear friends, you'll be able to identify the types of instruction sheet in a CBLM and discuss guidelines in developing the instruction sheets. Alright, so now, first instruction sheet is information sheets. Okay. Now, paano ba maggumawa ng information sheet? Paano ba mag-develop ng information sheets? Okay? So, ito yung sinasabi nating information sheets. Okay? Ito yung mga information sheets. Okay? Ayan. Now, pag sinabing information sheets, dapat po, you have to use language that is straightforward and is easily understood by the trainees for whom the materials is intended. Of course, define new terms and do not use words or phrases that are unusual or ambiguous. Another guidelines, supplement the words with illustrations, pictures, and diagrams for greater clarity. Alam natin, usually yung mga learners natin are visual. So, kailangan po talaga ng mga illustrations, pictures, diagrams for greater clarity. Next guidelines po kung paano gumawa ng information sheets. Of course, give specific directions that are clear and concise. Carefully think through the sequence of directions. Limit its instructions sheet to 1 to 10 sheets. But avoid overcrowding the page. Another guidelines, separate the various terms, items, points, or paragraph by spacing, by numbers, letters, or bullets. Develop a uniform format for all instruction sheets so trainees can easily find the desired information. Space the various divisions of the sheet such as title, purpose, illustration, and text to produce an easily to read and attractive documents. Using underlining to emphasize or distinguish between headings, subheadings, and content. And of course, be consistent in the use of terminology to avoid confusion. And of course, include only relevant information. Avoid filling the sheet with irrelevant or unnecessary information, no matter how fascinating it may seem. Okay, so those are the guidelines in making information sheets. Okay, now If you have noticed, we have what we call here information sheet 2.2-1. So, itong 2 na ito, itong 2 na ito yung napili mo na core. This will be your choosing core. Okay? Number 2. Then, 2, it's because your learning outcomes is learning outcome number 2. Choosing LO. 1 is because this is learning content number 1. Okay? So, if you have noticed, my dear trainees, so, ang learning title or ang title na information sheet, be sure it is also the same with your learning content above. Okay? Learning contents of your chosen learning outcomes. Okay? It should be the same. Same with your learning experiences. Your first information sheet should be the same with your uh, first information sheet in your instruction sheet. All right. Now, in making also your information sheet, you need to have a learning objectives. Learning objectives. Okay, so that the students will have guide or they say expected outcome at the end. Okay, so be sure you have to follow the 3 domains of learning. I know, I feel, I do. I know cognitive, I feel affective, and I do the psychomotor. Okay, be sure you have the 3 domains of learning when you do your learning objectives. It should be complete. Okay, so you have to identify, enumerate, and recognize. Okay, so first of all, be sure to have an introduction of your um, instruction sheet. Okay, so here, be sure you have your introduction. Introduction about um, icing, fillings, glazes, frosting, about cakes. So introduction here. Okay, it must have an introduction here. Okay, next to that is be sure um, you have what we call a body or text. Okay, now for your information sheet, be sure the body of the CBLM should be the development of the topic or the content. It is not purely a statement of facts, but it should be developing the content in a way that will help trainees memorize facts, definition, and functions, analyze associations and connections to other concepts, and in some situations, providing an opportunity for trainees to explore their underpinning values and beliefs. Alright? So, but before that, you must have an introduction or overview. Okay? But before that, you must have an introduction after the learning objectives. Okay? So, this is wrong. Okay? So, be sure you have an introduction here. Okay? What is the use of introduction? So, what are the content of your introduction? So, of course, the content are how the topic or information will contribute to the attainment of the main skill to be mastered. Other term, other reason why we need introduction or overview is to have a connection between previous content to the current content and the next content. Alright, clear? Alright, let's proceed. So be sure 6 to 10 pages for your instruction sheet or information sheet. Okay, so font type, it should be Bookman old style. Okay, so font size should be 14 for the introduction, And for the body or text, the font size is already 12. And be sure to justify. Okay, justify. Single space for the body and text. Okay, all right. So if you can see, it has a lot of pictures. Okay, very nice. All right, so part of the information sheets, after reading the information sheets, the student will answer the self-check. It will always have a self-check. Okay, what is the use of the self-check? Self-checks are sets of questions that would verify the acquisition of knowledge stated in the learning objectives. There is no prescribed number of items nor type of test for self-check. Number of items depends on the content of the information sheet. Alright, so here for this example, we have true or false. Okay, be sure to have a direction or instructions so that the student will be guided. Alright, so of course after answering the self-check, it will always have answer key. Okay, so that the students will have a comparison between his or her answer to the answer key given. Okay, so what is the use of the answer key? So answer keys are essential feedback tools. Answer keys should always follow a self-check so that a trainee can check his own answers immediately. This allows for immediate feedback. Right? So that's about answer key. Alright. So next instruction sheet is task sheets. Okay, task sheets. Okay, so task sheets, it should always start with a verb, not a present participle. Okay, so it must be perform mise en place, not performing mise en place. Okay, it should be perform mise en place. Alright, so if you've noticed, we have here performance objectives. Okay, what about performance objectives? Okay, so when you are going to make your performance objectives, my dear trainees, it should have a condition, standard, and time. So three types of performance objectives. First is the condition, next is the standard, and third is time. Okay, so you have your given the materials. So this is already condition. This is already condition. How about the standard? Standard, identify ingredients, tools, and equipment needed in the preparation of chocolate ganaches for 1 hour. So the three performance objectives are there: condition, standard, and time. Correct. This is correct. Title, it should not be performing, it should be perform mise en place. Okay, now what is task sheets? Why we need to have a task sheets? Try to refer it to your first learning content. Try to identify what is what is a possible task sheets that you are going to do. Okay, now when we talk about task sheets, is a set of instruction sheets telling the trainee to perform a single task. Okay, telling a trainee to perform a single task. All right. So here, if you have noticed from the example, it should have it has also a supplies and materials. Okay, that is correct. Okay. Next to that is we have what we call procedures, steps and procedures. Okay. So for the steps or procedures, the step-by-step procedures for completing the task so that the students will be guided. So step by step. It includes, if appropriate, illustrations or drawings. So it must have drawings, no? This is correct. Or diagrams to clarify the procedures. Correct. Then after that one, we have what we call assessment method. Correct. Assessment method. Assessment method, my dear trainees, is this is a list of methods used in evaluating the performance of the trainee on the particular task. Okay. So demonstration using performance criteria checklist. Alright, correct. So next, if you have a task sheet, it will always follow with a performance criteria checklist. Okay. Now, what is a performance criteria checklist? This is a checklist that will give immediate feedback on the performance of a trainee as he practices the task or skill. This is a list of criteria that you will require on the performance of the task. Alright, so that's it. So we have here, did you read, did you look, did you prepare, did you present? Okay, then mark it yes as an example. Alright, alright. So next to that, my dear trainees, is we have another information sheets. Okay, now try to go back to your choosing learning outcomes. We have their learning content. So if you have 5 learning contents, so you must also have 5 information sheets. Right? So kung meron kang 5 learning contents, so 5 information sheet din. 5 self-check at 5 answer keys. For the task sheets, it really depends on the topic on the learning content, objectives, time. Okay. So same procedures with the information sheets that we have. So another we have here, filling and decorating pastry products. Okay, so you need to change this one. No, do not start with a verb. No, you have to change this one into small chunks. Okay, so into small chunks, so we can have here pastry products. Okay, pastry products. But be sure, filling and decorating will be part of your learning objectives. Okay, so it should be adjective, not a present participle verb. Okay, it should be adjective. Do not start with a verb when you're having a title for information sheet. Pwede kang mag-start ng verb if task sheets, but information sheet start with an adjective. Okay, so we have here, so 3 domains of learning: discover, distinguish, and perform. So how to know the different learning objectives, or I say verbs, no? So you can search Bloom's taxonomy, okay, so that you can identify there which would be the ideal verb you're going to use of your learning objectives. Okay, so we have there I know, I feel, and I do. Okay, cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Okay, so remember, after the information sheet, you must have here an introduction or overview. Always, you are going to add here introduction or overview about pastry products. About pastry products. Alright? So after that one is the body or text. So it should have a minimum of 6 pages, maximum of 10 pages per information sheet. Alright? So that's it. So it must have more pictures, no illustrations. Okay. So self-check, it should be in separate page. Okay. So same procedure. You must have an instructions, then it followed by answer key. Okay. And then job sheets. Now in making job sheets, try to remember uh, the difference between job sheet, task sheet, and operation sheets. Take note with the difference. Okay, take note with the difference of information sheet. No, task sheets, job sheets, and operation sheets. Now, I repeat, task sheets is a set of instructions telling the trainee to perform a single task. When we talk about job sheets, it's a set of instructions for the performance of a job. A job is a combination of tasks and operations needed in to develop a product or performance of a service of a combination of both. When you talk about operation sheet, is a set of instructions for the operation or use of particular machine or equipment. So, ang job sheets is a combination of the two, task sheets and operation sheets. Alright? So, for example, for this example job sheet, title is making butter cream filling. Not making. That's make. Make butter cream filling. Okay? Make a butter cream filling. Okay, po dyan. Make a butter cream filling. So, objectives. When we talk about objectives, three. Performance objectives. We have a condition, standard, and time. So, condition is given all the materials that is already conditioned. Standard, that is make buttercream filling according to required ingredients. Alright, so for 2 hours. So it will always have ingredients, tools, equipment, and directions. So direction, it must have a lot of pictures so that the students will be guided. Okay, so that's it. Another information sheets, no, like I said, uh, if you have 5 learning contents, so you must have also 5 information sheets, subject, and answer key. Alright? Alright, same procedure. We have here learning title, learning objectives, 3 domains of learning. Be sure to have introduction here and pictures, a lot of pictures. Okay? So all of this, my dear trainees, um, you can have a lot of reference from no, you can search over the internet, you can go to library, as long as related to your topic, so you can have a lot of references. No? Okay, self-check. And another thing we have here, so always remember, self-check and answer key is in a separate page. Okay? And another task sheets. Okay? So it should be garnish an egg tart. Okay, so it should be three performance objectives. You have your standard, conditions, standards, and time. All right, and it should always have performance criteria. Now, for the performance criteria, guys, you can always follow with the procedures here. Okay, it would always depends on the procedures that you have. So simply copy this one into performance criteria checklist. But be sure when you do it, it should be already in a close ended question. It should be close ended question, meaning answerable only by yes or no. Close ended question. Just like this one. Did you prepare all ingredients needed? Yes or no. Did you wash apples and oranges? It should be close ended questions. Okay. Another thing, we have another information sheets based on the learning contents that we have. Another thing, we have the learning title, present, and display. So, then I start with a verb. Okay. So, simply you have here um, enterprise standards. Okay. Enterprise standards of enterprise standards of baking. Enterprise standards of baking. Uh, okay, explain, organize, and accurate. So another thing we have here, be sure to have introduction here and overview. Okay, followed by body or text. Okay, a minimum of 6 pages and maximum of 10 pages. So it should always, after the information sheet, it must have uh, it will follow another self check, no, for that particular information sheets. Okay, so answer key should be in separate page, and another task sheets. And take note, trainees, be sure all the information sheets here, subject, answer key, task sheets are connected with your session plan. Okay, are connected with your session plan. Did you remember your session plan? Session plan is the same, be sure it's the same. It is connected with your instruction sheets. Okay? So, lahat ng nakalagay doon, it should also the same with your instruction sheets. Okay? So here, task sheets, this is display pastry guidelines, display pastry guidelines, or display pastry guidelines. Okay? All right. Next, another performance criteria. It should be in separate page. Okay, just simply copy the steps and procedures, and then change it into closed-ended question, answerable by yes or no. All right. So, any questions with the instruction sheets? So, if you have noticed, we don't have an operation sheet here. So, operation sheets, I repeat, is just a set of instructions for the operation or use of particular machine or equipment. And then job sheet is a set of instructions for the performance of a job. A job is a combination of tasks or operations needed in to develop a product. A task sheet is a set of instructions telling the trainee to perform a single task. Okay? Any questions with the instruction sheets? Very simple. Okay. Always remember, when you are going to have a title of your information sheet, should be the same with your learning content. Do not start with a verb. It should always start with an adjective. Okay? Mag-verb ka lang kung mag-task sheet ka na at mag-job sheet ka na or mag-operation sheet ka na. Okay? So the title should start with the verb, and the information sheet should start with an adjective. All right? Always remember that. And when you make your learning objectives, it should be it should be complete. No, it should have three domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. All right. And then one thing that before I forget, the document number here, the document number, it should please just copy and paste the code number of your choosing core. Okay, code number of your choosing core. You put it here. Code number of your chosen car. All right, very simple. And develop by your name. Okay, issued by whatever your logo here. It should be the same with the issued by. For example, DepEd. So DepEd logo. So issued by DepEd. All right. Questions? None. All right. So that's about our instruction sheets. So that's task sheets, operation sheet, job sheets. Okay, and information sheets. All right, thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. So just request another video for this one, or I can have another video for evidence plan. Okay, thank you for watching and listening. Thank you so much.